any kind of advice or mentorship skills that you've gotten along the way that's gotten you to think about something differently or, come to a different space because of that person or career advice you've been given?
Yeah, I mean, one of my mentors is Bryce Maddock, where we're both Ironman training, like really
Yeah.
into triathlons, and one of the phrases or quotes that of course gets tossed around a lot is it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. I think when you are a marathon runner and you've done sprints, you've done marathon, you've done ultras like the full distance Ironman, it takes on a lot of meaning that I do think can directly be applied in the workplace, whether it's a project or your career, or just the day to day of your role, which is um in Ironman training, when you're going through that, you're doing a lot of races along the way. You're doing training constantly. At your peak, you're training almost 30 hours a week. Sometimes that's almost a full-time job.
Right,
Um,
right.
you learn a lot of things that you need to take in the workplace too, which is one, it does come down to putting in the work. Uh, you can't fake your way through an Ironman.
That's
You
right.
can't roll out of bed, you can't cut corners, you will not finish. And so, to put in the work to finish and do well, it requires hours and hours of grueling training. It requires commitment. Sometimes training, minimum of 6 months, sometimes longer for that, and making a lot of sacrifices. You might be putting aside going out with people and late nights and not being able to do anything on a Saturday because you're training. It's not for everyone, but for those that do have that goal of I want to do an Ironman
Right.
or a marathon, you have to put in the work, period. And so I think about that often in, whether it's my role or the roles of people that I'm managing, which it does at the very base. You have to put the work. Everything on top of that is like how you do it, optimizing all of that good stuff, but put in the work, the time, hours, energy, knowing when to rest. I think especially when you're in training, or when you have um, you're growing quickly in your career, or you have a high stress job, there is something to be said about knowing when your body needs to rest and recover and then go back into it. And then finally, just learning from your mistakes goes a long way. When you're training for an Ironman and you do a lot of those little races along the way, you're learning what should you be eating and drinking. Your body will react a lot of different ways, and so you're getting really in tune with, I'm just going to tweak these things, tweak it until I've optimized for the race outcome that I want. And I think the same is true at work. I'm not afraid to make decisions, make mistakes, and all of that when I know here's where I want to get to. So I'm going to try these little tweaks and keep tweaking it, making sure they're measurable. A big thing in Ironman training, it's all, you're measuring everything and you're trying to understand
Right.
what did that change, what impact did it have. I could go on all day talking about Ironman training, but I think that's one of the things that made me really look up to Bryce, and him being such a strong mentor, was being able to apply those same things from your life and applying them into work, and it works.
I love that. Yeah. I always thought that I was like, this guy just never stops. He
Yeah.
just never stops. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's just, I always think that there was always a good, you know, work-life balance to that too. Like it is hard work to do anything that you want to be really, really good at or that you want to accomplish, right? That's huge. And there isn't a whole lot of people who quite honestly have that type of dedication. So, I mean, it takes a lot to train for that, but it takes a lot to train to be the next level of your work or the next level in your relationship or the next level of anything that you're into, and it really does come down to that conviction and that dedication. So I think that's great. I love that you said that it was that Bryce is one of them. So that's fantastic.